I'm going to be doing something a little bit new today. I'm going to be going over, not going over, I'm going to be doing a game against Wally, 1800 bot for my group. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing with this game is trying my best to explain everything that I'm thinking, like for the whole entire game and every move. And the best way I'm going to be doing this is basically there's something I found said how to find good moves in chess. And sorry, excuse me. The way it works is that in the beginning there's like a general assessment. King, hold on a second. General assessment, king safety, pawn structure, material, and piece activity. That's like the first thing. Every move that I'm going to try to go over my best that I can with you guys. Um, and after that, some type of assessment, basically threats and opportunities. Um, After that, look for weaknesses that I can find. Then after that, either candidate moves or calculations. I'm not like candidate moves, basically moves that I think after reviewing the whole entire situation, what do I think is best? What do I believe is what I should be doing? Um, Pretty much looking at for candidate looking at captures, checks, forcing moves, and then search for developing moves, attacking moves, defensive moves, so forth. Some stuff like that. I think that's super important to go over. Um, Second here. I'll be sharing this to groups now. Just give me 1 second here. I'm pretty much almost done. And after that part of calculations, um, just to make sure everything's fine and dandy before I make the move. But that's what I'm going to be doing today. Just basically doing games and so forth. You know, give me 1 second here. I'm trying to share this to group, and then after I share this to group, I will be ready to start the game. I'm not 100% sure if I should be white or black. I don't know if anyone wants to give me input. If not, then I'm just gonna be If not, then what I'm gonna be doing is simply um doing random. So I think I'm pretty much done with the sharing. So I should get started right about now. So let's see here. If anyone here has okay for chat. Okay, so no one has any suggestions. So I just go right ahead and just do random. Wait, doesn't matter to me if it's white or black. I'm gonna put on not because I need them, but just because if I accidentally click something, that would be the only reason I would do a take back. I play as random. All right, so I always play e4. E4 is my standard opening. I know people play sometimes d4, which is fine. C4 is fine as long as you learn whatever opening you're interested in. That's very important. I like playing e4 myself. Okay, e5. That's very standard and normal. I don't want to go over through the whole assessment right now because it's still opening book moves. So I'm gonna play knight 3. I'll start doing the explaining a bit more after the book moves are over. I like Evan's gambit, so I'm gonna go ahead and just play bishop to c4. And he plays knight to f6. Now, right here, I don't really have book moves per se. I know this right here can lead into like the fried liver and stuff like that. I personally like the castle here. After castling, I would like my opponent to take because I like playing the Neckmason Gambit. I really actually enjoy this opening where I sacrifice my knight to and my bishop and comes the queen called check. That's really my dream opening. I love playing it. No one ever plays it, but I'm gonna go ahead anyways and see if I can get it going. If not, then I work with what I got, and then I can start doing um, the assessment properly. So okay, so we're still kind of in the opening and still working with the Neckmason Gambit. Hopefully, I get that today. Like I said, it's my favorite. And he's not playing it. Okay, this is one way to deny it. So now let's go with the how to find good moves with chess. For a general assessment, king safety, my king is safe. Pawn structure, and I mean, I basically sacrificed the pawn so far. I can take his pawn back and have pretty much even pawns, but my pawn will be a little bit extended. But at the same time, it's better than just being down a pawn. For piece activity, my my queen is going to be active very soon. My rook is going to be active very soon. These pieces are out, so I think I have a tiny bit more better piece development than him. Any threats or opportunities right here is I have an opportunity basically to take his piece, his pawn. I mean, so now after that, I got to look at like calculations and candidate moves. I feel that good moves here might be, let's say, bishop to b3. Even though I notice this right here, I probably can lose my bishop, so that's a threat. So if I wasn't focused on that. I was focusing on the pawn. So if I wasn't looking at like threats and opportunities, I would have missed the fact that my bishop could have been taken, and I would have just taken this, and I would have blundered a piece. So that's why it's important to try to get used to thinking in these terms. I actually used to blunder lots of stuff until I started trying to use this method more than one time. I got kind of used to it. So let's see here. So good moves because now I realize that this is a threat. Where do I want my bishop? I can move my bishop back if I wanted. If I do, I'll keep in a diagonal, still attacking the f7 square. Another idea may be bishop to g5, giving me the opportunity to take or here, take bishop, to f7. Fine. I mean, I'm sorry, bishop to f7. I'm sorry about that. I also can be aggressive if I want to. I can go to g7, attacking the queen. But he can block, and then that can get pretty messy. And bishop to d3. So I can keep it simple, and I'm thinking about going bishop to d5 to keep it simple and give myself the options. I also kind of like this move here, but I'm not entirely sure to work out. I know he can move bishop to e7, and then I have to still worry about this bishop here. So I'm not going to try to complicate it too much for myself. I want to keep it as simple as possible. So I want to go back to bishop to d5, because bishop to d3 also can try to attack it again. So I'm going to go here. I think that'd be pretty good after the assessment. All right. He moves to e4, attacking my knight. So my king's safety is the same. Pawn structure is a little different. He's attacking my knight, but for the most part, it's similar. Material and piece activity are, this is a little bit more improved. And my knight needs to move somewhere. Threats, opportunities. This is being threatened. Opportunities. I might have this is opportunity, but I'm not 100% sure. I also have ability to go to rook to e1 as well, because if he takes it, he can't take it because of a pin. So I have an opportunity to go to open file. And so basically my ideas are either knight to e5 or rook to e1 because of those reasons. I'm not really too sure about. I also have the idea of actually knight to g5 because I'll be attacking this pawn. and he can't be captured back. I was thinking about knight to e5 at first. He can capture and capture back, that's all fine. But I also still have this opportunity here. He can't move his knight to h7 to defend because his knight's way over here. So I'm actually liking this a little bit more now. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just attack something. I'm gonna just go ahead and attack and see how that, I'm also threat attacking this as well. All right, knight to e7 he plays. And let's go for it. The kings are still pretty safe. His is a little bit more in danger now. Pawn structure is basically the same as last time. Material is the same count, but the activity is a little different. He is actually attacking my bishop now. So I have to deal with that. So any weaknesses that I see, not anything different. Candidate moves. Okay, so now we get into moves and calculations. So seven, but it's still pretty, it's pretty aggressive. I kind of like that. Bishop takes if possible, and if he captures, I can just capture back, and I win a pawn back, and it's going to be a little difficult for him to develop because I can move my rook over, and it's going to have some issues. So I kind of like that. I actually looked at the idea of taking the pawn for that reason. Yeah, so yeah, here developing and taking pawn, and I'm going to take the pawn. I know it's probably just develop my pieces when I can, but I need to take the pawn back. I've been prolonging it for a bit, and if I prolong it for too long, he might eventually, at some point, have a f5 idea and protect the pawn, and then I might not be able to take it later. So I'm not going to prolong it for too much. Okay, so he decides not to take my bishop, and he decides to go after my knight, which I didn't really think. So now I have to figure out the best thing to do here. I didn't really think about that. That was actually pretty bad for me. If I'm going to lose a piece, I might as well sacrifice on f7. So after I sacrifice f7, he can't take the bishop because I'll take the queen or the rook, which obviously I'll take the queen, which means he'll be forced to take on f7, and then I'll be able to bring my queen out and attack in that way. So I kind of lost the piece, but it's not like the war over. Another idea is to go queen to h5. In queen to h5, I'm able to attack here. And as well, he can't take my knight because I have an attack against his rook. So that's perfectly fine. Give me 1 second. I gotta talk to my group real quick because my group members left that I made a bad idea, and I guess that's what they do in games. You resign, which isn't really good. All right, so I gotta go ahead and at least say something about that. Okay, so I'm thinking about basically knight takes f7 and also queen to h5 is basically my two ideas is what I'm considering. I like queen to h5 because it attacks his pawn, and I like also knight takes f7 as well. Yeah, and if he takes here, I can just take back. So yeah, I'm gonna go queen to h5. I think that kind of saved it, but also he also has the idea of g6. So what do I do if he plays g6? Then what? I do have queen to h4, so that's perfectly fine as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go queen to h5. I like that. Okay. So he played the move that I thought he would play. So I'm gonna go back to queen to h4 as basically planned. All right. Now that he took, I am able to take his rook, which was the whole idea of doing the queen to h. So I basically saved myself a little bit. He wins the knight and he wins the bishop for the rook, but that's better than losing a piece altogether. So I'm doing pretty fine here. All right. So king safety. His king isn't very safe anymore. His king isn't very safe, and because he basically has to go this way, and he hasn't developed these pieces or his pawns. So basically, my job right now is to either gain start to develop in a way that's attacking him and finding ways to continue. So what I'm going to do three to attack his knight to force it, and then eventually start developing my pieces just to get him kind of going. So I have three developing moves: rook to e1, knight to c3. I'm sorry, knight to c3, rook to e1, and bishop to g5 are developed. This bishop takes g5 is also an attacking move, not just developing. I don't like knight to d2 because it's in the bishop. So those are three main developing moves that I see here. Help attack, because this helps attack this file. This one pairs an attack, and this takes pawn immediately, which I rather take the pawn immediately because I don't want him to down and mess up my pawn structure. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack with my development. All right, so king safety, mine is pretty good. It looks so far. His is still kind of a little off. Pawn structure, material. This pawn is pretty weak now. I don't have a way to attack it right now, but it's a little weak for the pawn structure. He also can't develop still. So I had to find ways to keep attacking to make him, force him to make moves so he can't develop. As long as I force him to make a different move than developing, that would be good for me. I get him to, he can't take capture, by the way, because I can call check, and it'd be kind of, it looks like it might be really bad. And also I can take the queen, so I have like a lot of stuff that's going on. Yeah, I think taking the queen would be, yeah. So he can't really take. So d5, I'm thinking looks pretty good. It'll help construct his position. I'm gonna go ahead and do that first before I develop, just to construct his position a little bit. All right. I can attack his knight, but he can take it. Let's see here. Part of me feels like that would, let's see if that would be a good move for me or not. I think that would actually be an amazing move, actually. If I move up and he takes it, I would be able to my bishop here, threatening to take from me. So this right here would win a piece. If nothing else, win a knight. But yeah, if he takes it, that would be threatening check. So All right, I'm not sure if it's back on or not. Okay, there it goes. All right, so I'm glad I saved it earlier with the move queen to h5. That was a really good idea early on. Oh, hey, how you doing? I remember. Yes. Yes. Oh, today I was doing a game against a computer. So, yes. All right. And I made a pretty bad move, and I'll go over the game a tiny bit once it's done. But I like the idea of d6 because of the attacks that I get with it. I could also develop my rook. I also can maybe develop my knight. But my favorite is moving the pawn. I kind of looked at it for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And he calls check. I didn't really think about check. I could just move my king over. I can also move my rook up, but I don't. That looks a little weird to me, and I wouldn't know how to continue. So I'm just going to go ahead and move my king over. That's a little weird. I think he's trying to trade queens here, because of the threats that I have. Yeah, he couldn't come here and take my rook because of my queen. I didn't notice that immediately. I just moved my king out the way. But trading queens, I don't know. I don't like that. Because I had a very strong attack. So the best way to avoid it would be to move my bishop to f6. Bishop to f6 is the best way to avoid that, I think. Because it attacks the queen. It still has this knight isn't really pinned anymore because the queen moves out the way. But I still have the rook to e1 attack. So I didn't really see this defense. That was actually really clever. Go ahead and move my bishop. And he takes the pawn. So I'm not super happy about that, to be honest. I was very excited about the idea that I had, so I'm not very happy about what just happened here. But he's still in the center. His king is still unsafe. His pawn structure is well. He can't develop his bishop. He can't develop his rook right now, so he has issues developing. And his pawn is still weak. I don't have any immediate threats or opportunities. Candidate moves. I think I should improve one of my pieces. So I'm just going to develop my knight. I don't have an exact attack right now. So the best thing I can probably do is develop pieces so I can get an attack. So I'm going to go ahead and develop my knight. Okay. I can move my rook over, which is probably the best idea. I can also attack his queen. Sorry about that. I can go to knight to e4 to attack his queen. I also can move my rook. That's the first two things I noticed. I also still have bishop to g7. If he takes my rook, that would be checkmate. Earlier I had the move here to take the queen. Now I have bishop to g7. So knight to 4 attacking the queen. Rook to e1 avoiding, but he can also go here. So that probably would actually, I don't know if I can save my rook. So I probably either should attack the queen or even threaten checkmate. Because if I go here, I can just, yeah. I'm going to go bishop to g7. I mean, yeah, knight to e4 attacks the queen, which is an idea. And it also brings the knight closer to the action, to the king. Oh, hello. Yeah, I think we played a game before. I remember you. Yes. I don't remember your username though. There's a lot. Like everyone's name and usernames are different, so it's kind of hard to remember exact stuff. But yeah, I do remember. Here I like the idea of yeah. I'm not entirely sure which I like best, but I'm gonna just go for a checkmate. Then okay, so bishop f, then knight to f5. Okay, let's see. I guess I would just play knight to e4, attacking the queen. Is probably what I will end up doing. Um, and the queen will only have one move available to defend the checkmate, which would be over here. Queen to b. Yeah, that'd be the only way for him to stop it. But after something like, let's say, a3, uh, the queen wouldn't have any more squares. Yeah, the queen. You know what? That's actually really. I didn't think of knight to f5 as a defense, but I have a lot of it going on. I actually like this even more now. Um, yeah, I like this even more now. There's a lot going on. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Yeah, and now I can attack the queen, and he has this square only. Oh, ah, that wasn't a. I mean, I still have another check, which is right here. I'm missing like half moves. Um, that might be why I'm rated 1500. Actually, I did pretty well, but I missed moves here and there. Maybe maybe I'm missing half of the moves. Maybe I realize full moves I'd be 3000. So that might be it, man. I do still have a check here, and I still can call check. He'll move over, and I still can win a piece. Yeah, I think it does. It wins, at least it wins a piece, I believe, because the king was over, and then I can just take the piece. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead with that. All right, so let's go over the general assessment: how to find good moves. King safety. His king's not very safe. Pawn structure a little off. I know that I can win a piece right now. Um, this actually winning piece would also can lead to a discover attack because I can go to f d5 soon and maybe take a piece, but he'll take it back though. So maybe attack and take. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Um, I think bishop takes is better. I don't like the idea of queen takes because I don't want to trade queens right now. I really don't want to take queens. Oh yeah, I don't want to trade queens right now. Um, if I try queen takes, bishop takes, knight takes f1, rook takes f1. That looks pretty even. If I take with a bishop, like for example, if I take, he takes, I take, he gets to take my knight and my rook, and it's kind of even. But if I take this way, then yeah, if I take this way, the queen has to move, and I don't lose my rook like that. So that's gonna go ahead with that. All right. So he took my knight. I can take the queen this time, but I also have bishop to g7. So I can either take or wait, bishop to g7 check would win the queen. So I don't know why. Or yeah, and this also wins. I don't know why. I thought I was getting queens for a second there. I'll be winning a queen. Yeah. So I can call check and win the queen, or I can just win the queen outright. Um, what do I think is better? Um, I'm trying to think about like where the king would be. If I call check and he goes here and I take the queen, or I can just take right now, and if he moves, I can maybe come in. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and just I should take the queen. Um, the reason I don't want to do bishop to d6 is because he can take it with the knight. But yeah, because if I put the bishop d6 now, he can just take it with the knight. But I can always attack the knight. And if he wants to take my rook, that's fine. I can just take back. I'm still winning. I'm still more material. Oh, no worries, man. I'm talking a lot and I make mistakes when I'm talking, and I see things, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I missed this, and it's perfectly we're all gonna do that. I'm not a grandmaster or master or anything like that. I just play pretty okay. Um, so missing moves are perfectly fine. The idea is basically to look at it, go over it, and try to find stuff and improve stuff on it. So yeah, no worries. Don't feel bad for missing stuff. Yeah, it's nothing to worry about. If I worried about stuff like that, I'd be too nervous to do this. Because I'd be like, oh no. Yeah. So I'm thinking about going g4. Because if I make his knight move, then I can play bishop. If he takes my rook, that's fine. I'll just take back, and I'll have a rook, queen, and bishop rook, queen, and bishop versus rook, bishop, knight, perfectly winning. So I'm perfectly fine with that. So I think I should go ahead. Okay, he takes that way, which um I can actually move my rook to c1 first, just to save the rook. I mean, I can just take here right away, and then after he takes the rook, um, I don't think I see a forced checkmate. Bishop takes. Bishop check, force him in the corner. Actually, I would rather lose my rook, because if I take the knight and he takes my rook, yeah, I can call bishop to d6 check. He'll move over, and now the king's exposed, and then I can take the knight, and force these pawns up. So I think I would be forcing the king into a corner. So I actually do like that. I actually do like that. So I'm gonna go ahead with that, and just yeah. So yeah, I don't even have to take right now. To be honest, I really don't. I don't even have to take right now. And I like bishop to d6 better than queen to d6. And I do not have to take right now is because I'm gonna be calling check, so he can't move the knight. Um, Queen to d6 looks fine, but I don't want him to move around. Bishop to d6 forces him out, so I kind of want to force him out. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Both look fine. Queen to d6 also looks fine. I can bring the rook in if he comes down this way, and maybe try to do some type of checkmate at some point. Bishop check, move over, check, move over. We can't move over. Actually, that might be better. If he moves here, I can move the rook over. That'd be check, check. Yeah, that would be checkmate if he actually goes. So basically, yeah, I think, yeah, that would be I'm gonna do the bishop one though. I like the bishop one a little bit better. Um, it would be really sweet if he went back to d8 and I had that really weird checkmate, check, and then I have this checkmate right here. That would be really sweet. But I have a feeling he'll move out. So if I went queen here and he moves out, would that be better than my bishop and then move out? Because then my queen could come in this way. So, but from over here, the queen would have to come here, which is actually good because of pawns. So yeah, I think I should do. Yeah, the queen might look better, especially if he goes here. That'd be super sweet. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and move my pawn. This right here threatens mate in 2. He can probably defend it, but let's see what he does. All right, the king was over. I do have a check. I can actually call it check. The reason being is that if he takes it, I can bring my rook in for another check, and he'd be forced into the corner, and then I can also like a4 and then come in with that. I'm not sure if a4 is better first. I kind of like a4 first, so I'm gonna go with that. All right, I probably should have taken the knight. All right, so the knight is basically actually protecting the square that I wanted. I thought I had a checkmate, but I have to look a little bit more. A rook to b1 might be a good idea. Attacking the knight and giving myself the option. Bishop e7 and d8. That's actually a lot faster. I was thinking about moving the rook over to make the knight move, so I can come in with check and try to come with my other pieces. But yeah, this looks like a little bit faster. I can do that. Bishop d8 check, king to a7, b6 check, king to a6. I think that's checkmate. Check, back. Yeah, I think that might be checkmate. This is check. It's protected by the bishop. He has to move b6, and this is like massive diagonals. But yeah, this is massive diagonals. Yeah, that would be checkmate. Check. Check. And checkmate. I knew there was a checkmate somewhere. I was just looking for it because he was way in the corner. All right, that was a pretty good game. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over it. I should probably save the game. Yeah, good game. I'm gonna go over it and try my best to explain everything that I explained already. When you ever have a game that you like or you think is decent or good, you should actually analyze it 2-3 times to help remember your ideas and attacks and so forth, and see if you missed anything that your opponent could have done differently, and then try to make an improvement. Like, what could you have done better if your opponent did something different? Like, that's super important. Otherwise, just win and be like, oh, next game, and then not really get into it that much. So I'm gonna have to okay. I did learn how to do this. When I screen share, the way that I am sharing, oops. They kind of closed it out, I'm sorry. When I screen share, I actually am supposed to go back and share a different screen, which is what I'm doing right now. So now I should be sharing the PGM, I hope. Or did I do the wrong one? Oh, I think I did the wrong one. That's okay. I'm gonna go back to it and see if I can. Okay, that takes it out. And then I'm supposed to go here, Chrome tab. I also can do window. I'm just gonna screen share the window. That'll be perfectly fine. If I can. Okay, this is the one. All right. Sorry, give me a second. I'm not very tech savvy, but I am definitely getting used to it. So this is perfectly fine. Okay. The board should be lighter now. I had an ad in front of it. Oh, okay. I didn't realize the ad was gonna show up. All right. So I started off e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop c4, knight to f6, castles, knight takes e4, d4, and after this is where my opening prep was over. I didn't have anything for this because I didn't study this line. The line that I studied, was pawn takes, knight to c3, pawn takes, bishop takes f7, king takes, queen to d5 check, and if the king is here, then I go to e8, threatening the knight. If he goes anywhere else, let's say here, then I just take the knight outright. And then I have this threat. I have this coming in. Like, I have a whole lot of threats. So I sacrificed material for all that. That's the line that I studied. I did not study the one that he played. All right. So here I got the idea of I'm sorry, I can't play right now. I right now want to analyze the game and go over my ideas a little bit more, and then you have the and evaluations, which is taking forever to be honest. Maybe I should make it a lower setting stockfish. Maybe I'm gonna do a faster one. Yeah, I'm gonna do a faster engine because the reason being is that I I have a Chromebook and it's not very fast, I guess, but it's still super slow. So I'll just go over it without the engine, I guess. Um, oh, congrats on your brilliant move. That's nice. Um, yeah, if you want me to analyze your game, you want me to analyze it here live, or because I'm not sure if I actually I probably can do if I search your name, but I wanted to go over my game real quick, and then I can probably do that right after. The reason why I need to go over my game is so I can memorize it. I want to memorize as much as I can. So in the future, if I encounter it, I already learned the ideas. Like I thought of the ideas during the game, but if I memorize my ideas, then I don't have to relearn them. Yeah, and then I don't have to relearn my games because I went over my game. Like when you first start learning openings, you may learn one or two moves, and then you get a little used to it, and then you learn two more book moves, like four, and you get a little used to it, and then you try to go a little farther. Like for example, this right here, I'm on move 6. I haven't learned this line yet, so this is the first time playing this line like this. I want to learn my ideas because I won. I want to memorize it. So I want bishop d5. So I'm gonna have to remember that. And the reason I want bishop d5 is because I want the opportunity to attack the knight if I wanted to, and also attack the pawn. He went to e4, and here I wasn't sure what I liked better. I had different type of attacking ideas, and I decided on knight to f5. Knight to g5. I remember. Reason being is because he couldn't defend this way, and I actually ran into a little bit of trouble. I thought that I was losing here because he played. That wasn't the move yet. I took, yeah. So the capture was the confusing part. So I got to let it run through for a little bit. I'm going to click on game review. Maybe this will be faster. Yeah, game review is a lot faster. It'll review the whole game instead of move by move like I'm doing. Because I have to, it'll pause like a few seconds between each one. I did. 91's actually really good, especially against the 1800 bot. That's really good. Okay. Well, that's nice. I had one blunder. So now I can go over it and have the computer analysis the whole time, which is what I needed to do. Italian game, I won a 56% rate. It's the only opening I actually use. So knight takes. D4 inaccuracy. I'm not really. I'm not gonna change my opening line. The reason why, even if this is considered an accuracy, is because I'm going for the knack missing gambit. So I'm perfectly fine with it. It's part of my opening. Okay. And apparently bishop b takes e4 is the blunder. So let's see what is best. Bishop to b3. Okay. So bishop takes e4 is a blunder. When I played that move, I thought it actually was really good because I was winning a pawn back. But after 6 is when I realized I'm in trouble. And when I played 6, actually a few people left. I'm like, oh, I think I blundered or something. I had about 6 viewers, and then it went down to 3, and I'm like, everyone left because I made a mistake. And the way I saved it was queen 5. Queen 5, he couldn't take anymore because of here, and it kind of saved it a little bit. He moved up, which I knew was possible, but then I tried to keep it with queen h4. And after he took, I didn't realize he blundered. I thought what happened was he took, and after I take, he takes, and I figured that it was a sacrifice of the rook for 2 minor pieces. So I thought he was actually doing better here. But I knew his king was in danger, and I also knew I can start bringing stuff in, and his pieces were kind of tied down. So I thought he was slightly winning here, so my evaluation was wrong on this. So my evaluation was definitely wrong for this. But yeah, I'm glad that I was winning here for sure. I didn't realize that I was winning. I figured that I had attacked, and I just wanted to keep attacking so I can win. F3 was meant to force his knight back because I didn't want him to start developing. I didn't want, and if I moved my knight over, he could just take it, I capture back, and then he develop. So I didn't want my knight and then develop. I decided to first hit the knight off, and I didn't take this yet, so I kind of wanted to do that as well. And after he moved back, that's exactly what I did. I seen an idea of going here for checkmate, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. And he kind of defended it pretty easily. That knight move prevented me from coming in. It also prevented me from coming in this way as well. So I realized I was making threats and he was defending the threats. So I didn't like that he was defending the threats, but I also was happy because he wasn't developing. My goal was to make sure he didn't develop his pieces, and he did not develop his pieces for sure. So I d5. The idea is I wanted to come up soon and create some threats on his knight. All right, welcome back. He played. I continued with the idea. For some reason, I thought I was winning the knight. I really thought I was winning the knight here. I did not see that he had this check. That made me really unhappy because he was actually able to come in and actually, yeah. I wasn't gonna trade the queen for sure because I wanted that queen. I was a little bit under in material, 2 minor pieces for rook, so I really didn't want to trade the queen for that reason. And I ended up playing bishop to f6, which dropped the pawn. And after that, I actually was a little sad. I thought that I thought here I was losing too. So, and I wasn't. But I thought I was losing here, and I thought I was losing when I captured the rook. Apparently that's a great move. It was developing a piece. All right. Well, developing moves are always great, by the way, unless you're losing something, unless you blundered. I thought this was a great move, actually, because I was like, if I move over, he'll be forking my pieces. So, and then if I move up, I figured he can maybe attack and try to do something else. So I really was concerned. And at that point, I decided that I need to do a counterattack. And if I don't do a counterattack, I'm going to lose. And that's why I played bishop to G. What is it? Bishop to G7. And he went here, defending and attacking. He was attacking my bishop and defending the checkmate threat. And I knew if he took here, I can just take the. That's another great move. It was just counterattacking. And yeah, that was pretty much game. At this point, I kind of understood that I was winning. This is when I actually understood I was winning. Yeah, he just lost his queen altogether. According to the evaluation, it was 9.5. I took. Okay, so he had a better move. He could have did something different. I wasn't sure if he just played the best move and I didn't realize that was it. But yeah, after that, it was just attacking. Yeah. I wonder at what point did I have I had a mate 7. Mate 8. So, okay, so basically I was a 14-point advantage. And after he took here, I had a mate 8, which I definitely missed because. Did I miss it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I actually? I don't think I did a mate 8. Did I? Mate 7, check. Mate 6. Okay. And then I missed a mate. All right. I'm like, yeah, I would be happy. My highest mate that I successfully did was 13, just by doing forces. Yeah. That probably would have been a lot better for him. Definitely would have been better for him. Mate 4. Okay, so I didn't really see the mate in 4, but you seen it. You're the one that said bishop to here, and that kind of allowed me to see the rest of it. I wasn't considering going to bishop to D8, what I was considering doing was what was it again? I was considering rook. Where did I make? Okay, here, right here, I was considering moving rook to b1. That's what I was considering. And after rook to b1, I figured he would move the knight, and I would assume he would do something like, let's say, knight to. He couldn't move actually anywheres because the queen. Let's try to save it. That would be immediately, right? Oh, okay. So yeah, it would have been a lot harder if I did that. Yeah, it still would have been mate, but it was rook b1 mate in 5. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, it says mate. Well, for me, my computer says mate in 6, but yeah, that was actually a really good game. I do appreciate the help. There's like two different things that I didn't really notice, like the bishop move, and there was something else that you told me that I didn't notice either. So I do appreciate that. Nothing is worse than doing a live stream and making mistakes or blundering or even losing. You know, um, like stuff like, where is it at? I'll pause it where I get to it. Right here, I'll pause it here. Stuff like this is the worst part of streaming because I realize I blundered. And yeah, right here is where I realize I blundered. And there's nothing worse than this when you stream because a lot of times, like a lot of people left. They were like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And it actually, like, I don't think people realize this, but like, I do understand what I'm talking about. I do play pretty well. I am 1500. I'm not super great. This is why I teach under 1,000. I'm capable of explaining things and going through stuff, but when stuff like this happens and people leave, it makes me feel like I'm kind of slow or dumb. With like, oh, I messed up and everyone thinks I'm dumb and I can't continue. And it's like, no, I got to find a counterattack, and I did. And for everyone who stayed, you got to see how it played out, and you got to actually see that it wasn't really that bad, and I actually was able to save it. Um, with the queen move right here. And I even seen this as an idea. And I thought this was still losing for me, but it wasn't. So like I was really happy I was able to save it. But when I stream and people leave because I feel like I made a mistake or something went wrong, it could even be in puzzles or something else. Um yeah, that definitely, I think this is the reason why a lot of people I think this is the reason a lot of people don't really stream that are not masters because this actually kind of sucks, that you don't know what you're doing or that you have to play perfectly in order for people to watch. It makes it really hard. Yeah, I can the game. So what was your let's see if I can find you. Or social, actually. Social should be it. What's your username if I want to find your game for so I can do that? Your username? SONNIZZI1. I don't know if I have your friends right now, so I'm gonna check that first because I might. Where's it at? SONNIZZI1. The seventh game from the top. All right. Oh. So you only had 40 games in the past month, or maybe just blitz games only. Probably what it is. Seventh game from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's versus rope chess. That's the one. Am I over right? Is this the one that I'm on over right now, or is it the one above it? Okay, this is the one. Yeah, I lost rating. I'm 1200 now. I was 1500, and then when I'm analyzing, I'm 1200. Okay. So I'm gonna have to how do I switch the view here? The perk defense. Oh, I love the perk. That's my favorite. Black for sure. I don't know how to switch it over. How to flip it. This is add to library, load, comments, refresh, library, open. Yeah, I don't see how to flip the board. Yeah. All right, so E4. I mean, I can't do game review, but I'd rather just. Yeah, I know. I kind of like looking at it from the person's view that played it. This is actually your friend did pretty well for 300 rating. That's actually pretty normal opening stuff, to be honest. That's actually the classical variation. So yeah, your friend did 4 book moves. I think that's is that a book move? I always see 4 bishop 2. I see bishop here, bishop here. I don't know if this is a book move. It might be, but he at least did 4 for sure. Yeah, he did. That was really good for him. This right here, I don't really know if I see that very much. The reason why some people are concerned with this, but I think there's a trick here. If you move here, if he takes it, oh, it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work because never mind. It doesn't work here. There's a trick in some, but it doesn't work. To be honest, I don't normally play this way with the perk, but some people do. I normally just castle, and then I find out later if I want to move c5, c6, e5. I'm not sure exactly where I want my knight. So for the bishop, so that's kind of the perk. I don't want to play there. I don't know if it's the lines that it's not showing up right now. So I want to do my own evaluation before the computer evaluation. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'd rather do my own evaluation first than a computer evaluation. The reason why I do that is because if I evaluate it first and then go to the computer and I realize where my are evaluating, you know what I'm saying? And it helps me to evaluate better in the future. If I use a computer evaluation first, I'm not practicing how to evaluate positions and situations properly. Um, it's super important to do that for your games. Always evaluate first by yourself and then evaluate it with the computer afterward. That's the only reason I don't like playing on my phone, because when I play on my phone, it auto evaluates initially before I do anything. Oh, the perk is my favorite. I have lots of stuff on the perk. I really do. I think it's, you know, bishop. This is normal. Another idea here for the perk, when someone does bishop to e3, is knight to g4. The reason being is that usually people try to do queen d2 to trade off the bishops. So putting the knight here forces the bishop to move out the way or something, and kind of makes it more difficult to trade off the bishops. So this is usually kind of common here. I mean, in some lines you can even attack this way depending on the line. So uh, yeah, I hope you told them to capture this way for sure. Yeah. I think he actually played pretty okay for 300, to be honest. Yeah. Well, he did play pretty well for 300. Okay, let me go back. Well, I guess you are up material, so that sacrificing just gives you up two pawns. Yeah. The knight move, brilliant one. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't have seen that, but you sack the knight for an attack for two pawns and an attack, so you kind of oh, really. That's a evaluation. Oh yeah, I just popped up right now on my screen. But yeah, I was thinking bishop to h6, which is the third best move. Queen to h5 is what you played, which was the best move. Yeah, I kind of was looking at this attacking the queen and then moving up, but yeah, the movie play was better. Oh yeah, and that's actually really nice. Um, Even though he made certain mistakes, it's like a lot of pieces were still on the board, so that was definitely a nice checkmate. Yeah, a lot of I know a lot of people just try to most people I know usually just try to take all the pieces first for an easier checkmate, but hello. Hola. Yeah, I was just wrapping up right now. I was pretty much done. I did a game against Wally is what I did. A game against Wally, so and yeah, I try to evaluate it and then going over this right now. So I was about to get ready to go. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm about to get going. Yeah. Well, for a few months, you're doing really well. I've been playing for like I've been playing for on and off throughout my life, but I've been studying since 2000 December 22nd of 2018. That's when I made my Elite Chess account. That's when I decided that I was gonna start studying chess. No problem. So I've been studying for almost 3 years now, pretty close. So I don't I don't know how much my game has improved. I think when I came back to chess, my rating may have been extra. So it's basically 100 points a year almost. So at the, if I continue the same way, I'll need like 7 more years before I become a master if I continue to do 100 points per year. So, which it's kind of a little sad, but looking at things 7 years from now, if I was a master, I'd be happy. So even if it takes that long, then I guess it takes that long. Um, But if I let it get to me too much, then I'm studying because I don't want to wait. And then I have to wait longer, which doesn't make any sense. It's not very logical. So I have to think more logical. So I just have to study more. So, all right. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you guys, oh, I don't want to become Grandmaster. Candidate Master is my goal. Candidate Master 2,200. Um, I'm in my 30s. I started chess late. I started studying 3 years ago. Um, so my goal is not grandmaster. I did lots of research and stuff. Most people, if they're not master by the time they're 30, they're never master. It just never happens. So if I do it, I don't know if I'd be the first person or if not, but I'm not sure how that works. Apparently, it's something about the brain and the way that it's structured and how it works as you get older. But I don't care. I'm gonna try. I don't care. You know, if I first person to do it, they can study my brain and find out something. So, all right. Well, good game, guys. Enjoy. Hope you go back to the beginning and rewatch the video. What I did was for everybody coming in late was how to find good moves in chess. First is general assessment, which is king safety, pawn structure, material, piece activity. And then after that, look for any immediate threats my opponent has, opportunities that I have, and then afterward, look for weaknesses, candidate moves, and calculating. So I kind of went through that. So all right, take care. Like, subscribe, and share for sure. I really appreciate it, so I can get more viewings. If you want to do more, I'm going to be putting a link in my description within less than an hour from now for PayPal. So if you want to do more than that, that'll be very helpful. Thank you for your time.